Nó ngồi yên.
Hello, Mrs. Ha.
Hi,
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Hello, Rick.
Hello, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. And you?
Good, thank you.
Later, cóนึ่งvô duyên.
I can see you making a face, Mrs. Ha.
Yeah, because it is the last time.
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
I'm sorry.
yeah,
Okay.
that's all right. That's all right. How's your weekend going so far?
Yes, it's okay, it's fine. Thank you.
Hmm.
Các con bật camera lên chào thầy các con ơi. Okay.
You can see here it's still cold. I
Yes.
have this on, and I'm still trying to work out which way is the best way to have the desk in this room.
Yes.
So you can see, so this time behind me, you can see the picture that Michael gave me.
Okay, and now, yeah, Phương Nhi is off today.
Fung Yi is off today.
Yes. Okay, that's all.
Okay. All right. All right. Hello, everyone. Thank you for turning your cameras on. So I'll just make a quick note of who is here. Hello, Duknia.
Hi, teacher.
How are you?
I'm pretty fine, thanks. And you?
Good, thank you. Good. I can hear you loud and clear. That's great. Hello, Trami.
Hi, teacher.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. And you?
I'm good, thank you. I remember last week you told me you were tired.
No.
No?
Yes.
Okay, so you're not tired. That's good.
Yes.
Okay, that's great. All right. How is your geography going, Trami?
Can you speak again?
How is your geography going?
Oh, I have to make a project about geography in class.
Okay,
It's
you
really
have to.
difficult.
Okay, you have to do a project in English.
Yes.
You say
do
I have. Yeah, I have to do a project.
Yes.
I have to do a geography project in class. Oh, what is the topic, Trami? What is it about?
It's about global warming.
Global warming. Okay,
Yes.
big topic. Very big topic. Okay. Tin Tuk, hello.
Hello, teacher.
Okay, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you.
That's great. Welcome to class. Who else can I see? Jalin.
I'm here.
Hi, Jalin. How are you?
I'm good.
Good. Can you pull your camera down a little bit, please, Jalin, so I can see your face, or at least your eyes. That's better. That's good. Thank you. Please don't be shy. Okay. Okay. Who else? Bao Lin.
Hello, teacher.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
That's good. Anji.
Hello, teacher.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
That's good. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Great. And Viet An.
Hello, teacher.
Hello, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good. And Nok Tu. Hello, Nok Tu.
Hello, teacher.
What is one interesting thing you have done this week, Nok Tu?
I play boxing.
Sorry, boxing.
Yeah.
Okay, so I did boxing is what you say in English. I did boxing. Okay, who were you boxing, Nok Tu?
What?
Who were you boxing?
I boxing with my teammate.
With
Yeah.
your teammate. Okay, just practicing.
Yeah, just practice.
Okay, and remember, if you don't hear what I am saying, it's more polite to say in English, excuse me, instead of saying what. Everyone actually, This will be a little lesson for all of you. Instead of just saying, if you don't hear what I say, if you say what is not so polite, better to say in a class situation, excuse me. Excuse me is better, much more polite. Okay, Noctu?
Yes.
Okay, that's great. Thank you. And who else has joined us? Looks like Fung Lin. Can you hear me, Fung Lin?
Yes, I can hear you.
Good. Oh, you sound a little bit hoarse, Fung Lin. Do you have a cold?
Yes, I have. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry to hear that. I hope you feel better soon.
Thank you.
Okay. Do you want to turn your camera on, Fung Lin, or do you not feel well?
Can you see me now?
Yes, I can. Okay, that's great, Fung Lin. Much better. Very good. It's always very good to see you. All right, Mrs. Ha, just before we start, do you have anything
Yeah,
to
yeah,
say?
please, start, please, yeah. Okay.
Okay, Mrs. Ha, would you like to say something?
No, thank you very much. Start the lesson,
okay.
please, okay? Mhm.
All right. Okay. All right. So how many have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Excellent. Okay. Has anyone got any questions for me before we start? Okay.
Teacher,
Yes.
I don't have question, but I have one thing to talk to you.
Yes.
My house is being repaired, so it is noisy. Wish you excuse. Yeah.
Okay. Will you? Okay. That is almost perfect English. My house is noisy. It is being repaired. You would say, please excuse any noise.
Please.
Okay. Yeah. Please excuse any noise.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or please excuse any interruption is another way of doing it. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for letting me know. All right. We're going to start off today. What we're going to be doing is more writing today, but we're going to start off first of all with a test. Okay, you should all be able to see today's test. This test is about countable and uncountable nouns. Duknia,
Yes.
can you please read the paragraph for me, please? The one that starts with many.
Many common nouns in English are uncountable. They don't have a plural form, and they follow by a single verb form. Wait. Form.
Okay.
What do I?
Okay. So, all right. So you can either say what this means is, for example. All right. So when you see this written down, you can either say e.g., because everyone who speaks English knows what this means. Okay. E.g.
Okay.
So e.g., or you can say for example. They both mean the same thing. E.g. or for example. So e.g. is just a very short way of writing for example. Okay, please keep going.
E.g., information, furniture, help. A lot of information is available on the internet, not informations.
Okay, so this sentence that you can see written in italics, everyone, is an example. So for you say information, you don't say informations. Okay, so what this paragraph is saying is that many nouns in English are uncountable. They don't have an S form. Okay, so you say information, you say furniture, not furnitures. My house is full of nice furniture. You don't say my house is full of nice furnitures. All right. There is no rule for any of these. You just have to get used to which words are countable and which words are uncountable. In other words, which words have S's to make them plurals and which words don't need S's to make them plural. So we're just going to do a short test for this, just to get you used to some of these words. So please, can everyone have a quick read through numbers 1 to 10, and then I will ask you the answers. So please just take a minute to read through the questions. And if you're not sure what we're doing, obviously in the first sentence, you're choosing which is the correct word, clothing or clothings. In the second sentence is the correct word, countries or country. And in the third question or the third sentence, experiences or experience. Which one is the correct word for that sentence? Okay, I think we will start. So try me.
Yes.
Okay, try me. Number 1, please. Can you read the sentence and include the correct word?
Yes. The shop sells children clothing and footwear.
Okay, so which one is correct? Clothing or clothings?
Clothing.
Correct. Well done, Trami. So the first one, everyone, is correct. The shop sells children's clothing and footwear. So there is no such word as clothings in English. Clothing is both singular and plural. If you want to say, Trami, if I want to talk about one piece of clothing, what would I say?
Oh, I think that one
Instead,
piece of clothing.
yes, that's right. That's what I would say. Okay, easy question. Okay, so you talk about one piece of clothing or many pieces of clothing. Okay, that's how you make it plural. If you want to talk about more than one piece of clothing, you change it to many pieces of clothing. In her suitcase, she had many pieces of clothing. Does that make sense, Trami? So
Yes.
the word clothing never changes. You just talk about one piece of clothing or many pieces of clothing if you want to talk about more than one piece of clothing. All right, number 2, Tinduk.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, Tinduk, can you please read the sentence?
In developing countries, malaria still kills millions each year.
Okay, good choice. In developing countries, malaria still kills millions each year. So countries is the plural of country. So country does have an S on the end to make it plural. And Tinduk, just be careful with words. Can you say kills for me, please? Kills.
Kills.
Good, that's better the second time. Have to be careful. Make sure you pronounce the S on English words that have an S on the end. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense. Okay, so malaria still kills millions each year. Thank you, Tinduk. Jalin.
I'm here.
Okay, number 3, please, Jalin.
She has 20 years of experiences as a nurse.
Okay, Jalin says she has 20 years of experiences as a nurse. Is that correct, Baolin?
I think it's cool.
Sorry, you think it's?
It's cool.
You think
I choose the same. I choose the same.
You choose the same one.
Her.
You choose experiences. Okay, yeah. Anji, what do you think? Anji.
I choose experience. Is the S.
Okay, and Anji is correct. The word is experience in the sentence, not experiences. All right. She has 20 years of experience as a nurse. In this sentence, experience doesn't need an S to make it plural. In a different sort of sentence, you can have the word experiences, but not this sentence. So if someone asks you, how many years of experience do you have, Jalin? How many years of experience? You would say, I have 5 years of experience. Okay, not 5 years of experiences.
Yes.
Okay, Jalin? So in this sentence, experience doesn't need an S. Okay, thank you, Jalin. Baolin.
Yes.
Baolin, number
the com-
4. Number
the
4.
company, yeah, the company sells a specialist um, software for computer aid design. I choose number 2.
Number 2 is correct, Baolin. Well done. Okay, the company sells specialist software. So software, again, is a word that can be singular and plural. We don't talk about softwares for computer, just talk about software for, can you say the last 3 words for me, please, Baolin? The last 3 words.
Computer aid design.
Okay, close. So the middle word there is aided. Aided.
Okay.
Can you say that for me, please?
No, aided.
Aided. Good.
Yeah.
Computer aided design. And again, you have to be careful to pronounce the D sound at the end for it to make sense. Computer aided design. Okay, thank you, Baolin. Anji, number 5.
These patients need injections several times a day. I choose time.
You choose time. Okay. Viet An. Hello, Viet An.
Yes.
Okay, Viet An. Which one is correct in number 5? Times or time?
I think times.
Times. Times is correct. Okay, Anji, it is times. These patients need injections several times a day. In this sentence, you do need an S on the end of times to make it plural. Okay, Anji?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Viet An, number 6.
It had silent facilities with all the latest equipment.
Okay, so you think it has an S on the end or not?
I think S.
Okay, it doesn't. Okay, this one, number 6, equipment is plural. Okay, without the S. Equipment can be singular or plural. Can you read the sentence again for me, please, Viet An?
It has excellent facilities with all the latest equipment.
Okay, just a couple of words I will correct. So the first one is excellent. Excellent. Can you say that for me, please?
Excellent.
Good. Excellent. And the other one is latest. Latest.
Latest.
Latest. Good. So the A sound in latest is A, not A. So that one is latest. It has excellent facilities with all the latest equipment. Okay, thank you, Viet An. Knock 2, number 8. Sorry, number 7. Number 7.
Can you ask how to spell the first word? Teacher.
How do you pronounce the first word, do you mean?
Yes.
In number 7?
Yes, the first word.
Yeah. First word is cigarette.
Cigarette.
Yes.
Cigarette advertising has been banned in many countries. I choose advertising. Yes.
You choose with an S on the end?
I choose.
Knock 2?
I choose S.
Sorry, which one did you choose, Knock 2?
I choose S.
You choose S. Okay, this one doesn't have the S. Okay, this one, advertising is plural. Okay, and singular, by the way. Advertising is both plural and singular. Cigarette advertising has been banned in many countries. There is no such word as advertisings. No such word as advertisings. Okay, it's advertising. All right. Who's next? Fung Lin. All right, Fung Lin, number 8.
How often do you use public transport?
Okay, does it have an S or not, Fung Lin?
Does it have no S?
Okay, it doesn't have an S. It doesn't have an S in the sentence. How often do you use public transport? Transport is plural without the S. Transport is plural without the S. There is a word transports, but you use that as a verb. The verb transports does have an S on the end, but the noun doesn't have an S. Okay, so if you talk about public transport, of course, is a bus, a train, something like that. It doesn't have an S. All right, Duknia.
Yes.
Number 9, Duknia.
The waiters all wear traditional Vietnamese dress, I think.
So without the S or
Yeah,
with the S?
Without the S.
Without the S is correct. Okay. Slightly tricky one, Duknia, actually. Okay, because there is such a thing as traditional Vietnamese dresses, of course, plural. All right, but in this case, because we're talking about waiters, Duknia, are waiters male or female?
Both. Yeah. Wait. Can you ask that question again, please?
Yes. Are waiters, the word waiter, does it usually mean a man or a woman?
It can be both, but I think woman.
Aha, usually means man in English. Okay, a waiter is usually a man. Do you know what the word is for a female waiter, Duknia?
I don't know.
A waitress. Waitress. Okay, so a waiter is usually a man, a waitress is a woman in English. Okay, so if it says waiters all wear traditional Vietnamese dress, usually men, of course, don't wear dresses. So you know that dress is the correct answer for this sentence because it's talking about a waiter, and a waiter is usually a man, and men don't usually wear dresses. That's how you know it is the correct answer. Although, of course, there is such a word as dresses. But in this sentence, dress is the correct choice. Little bit of a trick question. Okay, this next one, not so tricky. Try me.
When I want to find information, I use the internet.
Okay, very good. It is information. Okay, same as the example in the paragraph that opened. All right, this test. It is information. Okay, there is no such word as informations in English, only information. Okay, try me. How many did you get correct?
I think it's 8.
Okay, which one did you get wrong, try me?
The question 6 and 8.
Sorry, the questions 1
6
and
and 8.
6 and 8. Okay, so equipment and transport. Okay, good. Tin Duk.
Yes, I'm here.
Hi, did you get any wrong?
Yeah, I'm wrong.
Which one? Which one?
Number 3, number 6, and number 8. I think it's a verb, not a noun.
Okay, so number 6 and 8. Okay, that's 2 of you who've got that one. Okay, so just remember, you talk about transport, public transport. The noun doesn't have an S. Okay, Jalin.
Here.
Yeah. How many? Which ones did you get wrong, Shailin?
Question number 3, 6,
Mhm.
and 8.
Okay, same one. She has 20 years of experience as a nurse. Okay, you can talk about experiences, but in a different sentence than this. So there is such a word as experiences. But if someone is talking about how much experience they've had, which of course means how much practice they have had at doing something, it is without the S.
Yes.
All right. Anji.
I have two. It's number 5 and number 10.
Okay, different ones. So several times a day, and I want to find information. Okay. Who did I miss out? Berlin. Excuse me.
Bro, number 3 and 8 and 9.
Number 3 and number 9. Okay. Number 9
Yes.
was, like I say, a little bit tricky.
Yeah.
Okay, about dress and dresses. Okay. And I've already explained number 3. Viet An.
Number 10.
Just number 10.
Yes.
Oh, you only got one wrong. Is that right, Viet An? Did you only get one wrong?
Sorry, number 10 and number 6.
Excuse me, a little bit of a cough. Number 10, okay. Again, I repeat, there is no such word in English as informations. No such word. Okay, thank you, Viet An. Knock 2.
Yes, I missed four time. I missed question. Teacher, can you hear me?
I can, yes, sorry, which numbers?
7, 8, 9, 10.
7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so advertising, transport, number 9 we've done, and 10, again, no such word as informations. Fong Lin.
Yes.
Okay, which numbers did you get wrong?
5.
Just number 5, okay? Only one wrong, Fong Lin.
Oh, I'm sorry. 5, 10, and 8, 1.
Sorry, 5 and 8. Is that what you said?
Yes.
Okay, 5 and 8. Okay, and Duk Nia.
Yes.
Okay, which ones did you get wrong?
I got number 6 wrong.
Just, that's the only one?
Yeah.
Okay, well done, Duk Nia. Okay, 9 out of 10. Very good. Okay, in fact, 9 out of 10 is excellent for this. 8 out of 10, which most of you got, is very good. All right, 8 out of 10 is very good. Okay, so hopefully that gave you a little bit of practice and experience with those words that have S or not to make plurals. There are lots of them, but this is just 10 of them. And like I said at the start, there's no rule for this, unfortunately. You just have to know when the word is correct, when it needs an S or not. Okay. I'm going to share this with you. We're going back to our writing now. Okay, so we're going to be looking now for a little while at writing task 1 of the Ielts test. Now, we did a little bit of this last week, and we're going to continue doing this for the rest of the lesson. If we finish, we're going to get time, I hope, to do a little bit of speaking. So writing task 1 of the Ielts, I will go through this quite quickly. I'm sure some of you know this already, but just in case you don't, or if you do, this is a quick revision for you. So writing task 1, you have 20 minutes to do this task. You need to write around 150 words, 150 to 200 words. So the first thing to do when you look at writing task 1, which is always a graph, a chart, a table, or a map, okay, is you have to make sure you understand the data or the information. So you have to know, of course, what the graph is saying before you can write about it. I'm sure that makes sense. So if you've got 20 minutes, 150 words isn't very much. It's only 15 lines. 15, it's not much. So you can spend 5 minutes looking at the graph or the table or the chart or the map and making sure you understand the data. Fong Lin, how many minutes should you spend looking at the graph before you start writing?
Looking at the graph before writing. 1 or 2 minutes.
What did I say, Fong Lin? What does it say here in number 1?
Sorry, but I can't see the screen.
You can't see the screen?
Yes.
Okay. Can anybody else not see the screen? Okay, everyone else can see it. Sorry, Fong Lin. All right, so the answer is knock 2.
Yes.
Okay, how many minutes should you spend looking at the graph to make sure you understand the data?
Spend 5 minutes looking at.
Correct. Thank you. All right, you spend 5 minutes, Fong Lin, looking at the graph to make sure you understand the data. 5 minutes out of 20 minutes. Okay. Now, the next thing you need to do in writing task 1 is to paraphrase the title of the graph. All right. So this is the title of the graph, this first line. Paraphrase, I'm sure you know by now, it just means to say the same thing, but using different words. And the examiners make you do this because they want to test that you know synonyms in English, okay? That you know how to, well, first of all, to make sure you understand what the title is, and then to see if you know enough synonyms that you can use different words, but to say the same thing. And again, we're going to practice that. So that's the first thing you do when you start off in writing task 1. Okay, the next thing you do is you write what I've got here as a clear overview or summary. If you want to get a score of 7 or above, okay, you have to be able to write a sentence or 2 about the purpose of the graph. What is a summary of what the graph is actually showing? And again, we'll practice it. We won't practice on this one. It's a little bit difficult, this one, but we will practice on a simpler one. And the last part is you have to write 2 detailed paragraphs about what is actually happening in the graph. So in this case, it is quite easy. You can see, for example, that there are 4 different categories in this graph: tenants, landlords, buying, bought, and other. So in one paragraph, you would write about what is happening to tenants and landlords over this period of time. In the second paragraph, you would write about what is happening to the other 2 categories, buying and bought and other. Again, if you are not sure what I am talking about or you don't understand, we're going to look at a more simple example shortly, the same one you did last week. So just to summarize, the first thing you do when you see something like this in task 1, you have 20 minutes to do this. You spend 5 minutes making sure you understand what it is showing you. Then you paraphrase the title. This is the first sentence of your essay. you write a paraphrase of this, the title. The second thing you write about is what the graph, a summary of what the graph is showing. And then the next two paragraphs are you write in detail about what the different categories in the graph are showing. Any questions about that at this stage? Okay. All right. Let's have a practice. So this is the one that we looked at last week. And these you can see here are all your answers from last week. All right. So this graph doesn't have a title. We're looking at this line graph. All right. So we made up our own. All right. I'm sure you all remember writing this. So everyone, as you can see, wrote pretty much the same answer, except for Anji, okay, who wrote an extra, I hope you can see it here. All right, who wrote a little bit more detail. A little bit more detail. So Anji.
Yes.
Okay, so Anji, what you would do with the second part of the sentence is that you would put this into your summary of what happens in the graph. Okay, so you don't need to put this part here that I've just highlighted. It doesn't need to be in this sentence. Okay, this will be the start of a separate paragraph. So it doesn't need to be a part of this sentence. So you are correct with your information, but it doesn't need to be in the first sentence. Does that make sense, Anji?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. All right, now again, let's make sure we understand the graph. Okay, Jalin.
I'm here.
Okay, Jalin. Okay, which is the x-axis of the graph and which is the y-axis? Okay, this graph has two axes. All right, which one is usually known as the x-axis and which one is the y-axis? Are you not sure?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm okay.
Okay, that's fine. Don't worry. Bao Lin.
I think number 2 is a y-axis.
Okay, so we're just looking at this graph here.
Yeah.
Okay, not number 2. So I want to know this graph has two axes, which is the plural of axis. Which one is the x-axis? Which one is the y-axis?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure about it.
Okay, I'll ask one more person. Let's see, Anji.
I think the x-axis shows the time and the y-axis shows the numbers of people like 0.5 and 1.
You were getting closer. Okay, I'll say this again. Okay, the x-axis is always the vertical axis. The x-axis is always the vertical axis. Actually, I'll write this down for you so you can see, just in case you can't. Just in case you're not sure of the words, what I'm saying, I will write this down so you can see it. Okay, Viet An.
Yes.
Okay, Viet An, can you please read what I've written?
The x-axis is the vertical line on a graph. The y-axis is the horizontal line.
Good reading. Okay, good reading. Viet An. So let's go back to the graph. Okay, so this, everyone, is the x-axis. Okay, this is the vertical line. Vertical, remember, is something that goes up and down. Horizontal is something that goes from side to side. Okay, so the x-axis is always the vertical. The y-axis is always the horizontal line. Okay, now we've got that. Knock two.
Yes.
Knock two. What does the x-axis measure? What is it showing?
It's showing number.
Yeah, number of what?
Number of people. Maybe.
Number of people, correct. Number of people. Very good, knock two. The x-axis is showing the number of people. In fact, it is showing, although it is not written here, it is showing millions of people. Millions of people, okay? So the top line here is how many, knock two? How many people here?
5 million people.
Correct, okay? How many people here, knock two? Okay, this line.
0.5 million people.
Correct, 0.5 million. Okay, and last question, knock two, this line here, how many people?
1.5 million people.
Correct, excellent, knock two. You're reading it correctly in English, 1.5 million. Okay, remember, if you see the small dot, which in a sentence would be a full stop, in the graph, it is pronounced as point. Okay, so 0.5, 1.5, 2.5, and so on. Thank you, knock two. Fong Lin. Can you hear me, Fong Lin?
Can hear you.
Okay, Fong Lin. Are you okay to answer the question? You still sound very sick.
Maybe okay.
Okay, all right. What does the y-axis show?
The white. Do you say that?
What does the y-axis in this graph show?
Number of years.
Sorry, Fong Lin, I can't understand you very well. Your connection maybe isn't very good. Yeah, I can't understand. Sorry, Fong Lin. I'll ask someone else. Duk Nia.
Yes.
Okay, Duk Nia, what is the y-axis in the graph showing?
I think it's showing the time of the year that something happened.
Correct. Okay, it's showing years. Years. That's all you need to say. It's just showing years. Okay, so this, okay, to summarize, remember, this is the x-axis. The x-axis is showing the number of people in millions. The x-axis shows the number of people in millions. This is how you describe it in English. The y-axis is showing years. Years. Trami.
Yes.
What is the spacing between each of the years you can see? How many? How many years are there between?
It's 20 years. It's
Is
20
correct.
years.
Is 20 years. Correct, Trami. That is right. Okay. So if you are going to write a description of this graph in English, Trami, okay, I'm going to see if you can put it all together now. Okay.
Yes.
What? Okay. This is a little bit tricky, but I'll see if you can do it. I want you to tell me what this graph is about. Can you tell me what this graph is about using the words we have just talked about?
This line graph is
Cái mạng nhà con nó bị sao đúng không? Khó nghe chẳng nhỉ?
people who died. Cô ơi, hôm nay con không có mạng nên con phải dùng 4G ấy.
Thế nào? Nghe nó không rõ
Nên
lắm.
là vài lúc nó hơi chập chờn ạ.
Rồi, ok. Thế thì rồi bây giờ có vẻ ổn đấy, con nói lại đi.
This line graph is about people who died in accidents.
Accidents, yes. Over, okay, so that is very good, Trami, but I just need a little bit more detail from you, okay? So you mentioned this line graph is about or shows how many people died in accidents, is what you said, okay? Okay, how many, what people died in accidents? What does this measure, Trami?
It's 5 million.
Yeah, 5 what? Okay, good. So how many, what you would say is this graph shows how many millions of people.
This graph shows 5 millions of people.
Okay, not 5 millions of people, just it shows how many millions of people.
Yes.
So this graph shows how many millions of people died in traffic accidents, okay, over a period of how many years, Trami?
20 years.
No, not 20. Have a look at the bottom here. Not 20. Where does the graph start, Trami? What year?
1960.
Okay, when does the graph finish, Trami? What year?
2020.
Okay, so a period of how many years?
2020 is 60 years.
Correct, Trami. Good. Your maths is good. This is a period of 60 years from 1960 to 2020. So what this graph is showing, I will give you the full answer. Okay, what this graph is showing is how many millions of people were injured. Actually, it's not die, but it's were injured in traffic accidents in Vietnam over a period of 60 years. Does that make sense,
Yes.
Trami?
Yes.
Okay. Tinduk.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, Tinduk, can you repeat what I've just said, please? This graph shows what?
This graph shows a million people die.
How many? This graph shows
5.
how many millions? How many millions is what you say?
I repeat to you.
Yeah.
It's how many people?
How many millions of people?
It's how many million of people die in accident traffic.
Okay. Okay, were injured. This graph shows how many millions of people were injured in traffic accidents in Vietnam over a period of 40 years.
Wow.
Okay, we'll do it bit by bit. Okay, repeat after me, please, Tinduk. This graph shows.
This graph
shows with the S on the end, please. This graph shows.
This graph shows.
Good. How many millions of people?
how many millions of people
were injured in traffic accidents
were injured in traffic accident
in Vietnam
in Vietnam
over a period of 40 years?
Of 40 years.
Okay, good. 40 years. Good. Thank you, Tin Duc. Jalin. Jalin. Hello, Jalin.
Gia Linh ơi,
Yeah.
chú ý là chia động từ nhá, số series với ngôi thứ ba số ít được không? Con chỉ minh họa cái biểu đồ thế nào đó. Ok.
Okay, Jalin. Can you? I can't see you, Jalin. You've disappeared.
Bật mic lên, mà cái của Phương Linh làm sao mà nhìn thấy mỗi cái ngón tay à? Ok. Rồi. Phương Linh, rồi, ok. Nào Gia Linh bật mic lên, bật video lên con. Không nhìn thấy gì luôn. Rồi, mà chẳng mặt chứ ai nhìn cái tóc của con làm gì? Xinh gái như vậy mà cứ phải hide được cái mặt của mình đi nhỉ? Ok. Rồi, good.
Okay.
Beautiful girl.
Good.
Okay. Yeah. Beautiful girl.
Good girl, Jalin.
Yeah, no one wants to see the only the head.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right, Jalin. I want to see your face, please.
Yes,
thank you.
Please. Okay. No.
Okay, Jalin. All right. Do you know what I want you to do, Jalin?
Second, because my network has problem.
Okay, I want you to tell me about this graph, the same way that I got Tin Duc just to tell me, okay? Okay, can you do that? This graph shows. This graph shows.
It's left graph.
Yeah, this graph's here.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, on the left. This graph shows. Did you hear what I did with Tin Duc?
Yeah, I know.
Okay, so this graph shows. What?
This graph shows
Okay, think about the x-axis. What does this show?
it is like people, about people.
Correct. Okay, this graph shows, and I'll change it slightly. This graph shows the number of people.
This graph shows the number of people is.
Yes, the number of people in millions. Millions.
Is 5 million.
Not 5 million. As you can see, the graph doesn't reach 5 million. So we don't need to talk about that just yet. So we say this graph shows the number of people.
This graph shows the number of people is.
In millions.
Millions.
In millions. Remember this axis, the x-axis, is measuring millions of people.
Yeah.
Okay. Who were injured? Who were injured? Please repeat after me. Who were injured? Just say the words, please, Jalin.
Who? Can you say again?
Yep. Who were injured?
Who were injured?
In traffic accidents.
In traffic accident.
In Vietnam.
In Vietnam.
Over a period of.
Over. Can you say this word?
Over a period.
Over a period.
Of.
60
years.
60 years.
60 years, okay? So remember, this is millions, okay? And down here, it is 60 years. And we know it is 60 years, Jalin, because we can see the first year is 1960.
Yes.
The last year is 2020. So of course, this is a period of 60 years, okay? Very easy. Not difficult. Okay. Can you try that for me one more time, Jalin, without me telling you? Can you tell me the whole thing? This graph shows. This graph shows.
I can't remember this.
Okay. The number of people.
The number of people, millions.
In millions.
In millions who injured.
Yes.
Of its period.
Who were injured in traffic accidents.
In traffic accident.
In Vietnam.
In Vietnam, 60 years.
Over
60 years.
Over a period of 60 years.
Over a period of 60 years.
Okay, I'm going to get you all to practice this, and then you'll be writing it down for me. Bao Lin.
Yes.
Okay, Bao Lin, can you do it?
Yeah. Okay. This graph show how many millions of people were injured in traffic accident in Vietnam over a period of 40 years.
Oh, how many years?
60 years.
60 years, correct. Okay, very good. Very good, Bao Lin. Okay, so the only thing I heard wrong there is that you said you left the S of shows. Okay, so it has to be this graph shows. This graph shows. But that was very good, Bao Lin. Anji.
This graph.
Your turn.
How many millions of people injured in traffic accident over a period of 60 years in Vietnam?
Okay, very good, Anji. You can do it that way around. That is also correct. Okay, were injured over a period of 60 years in Vietnam. Okay, that is also correct. Okay, the only thing you missed out, Anji, was this graph shows how many people were injured. You need to have that were in there, W-E-R-E, were injured. Okay, that was good, Anji. Viet An.
Yes.
Okay. Can you describe the graph, Viet An?
How many people was in the traffic in 60 years in Vietnam?
Little bit close. Okay, this graph shows. Please repeat after me, Viet An. This graph shows.
This graph shows
how many people?
5 million people.
No, just repeat after me, Viet An. Okay. So this graph shows.
This graph shows
how many people.
How many people were
in millions? In millions.
In millions.
Yeah. Were injured.
Traffic. In 60 years.
Okay, so were injured in traffic accidents in Vietnam over a period of 60 years. Okay, can you please say for me over a period of 60 years?
Over a period. Sorry, can you say again?
I can. Over a period of 60 years.
Over a period.
Yeah, over a
con
period.
nghe rõ thể là period là một cái chu kỳ con, một cái khoảng thời gian ấy. Nó nhắc lại nào, nhấn mạnh lại xem nào.
Over period.
Over a period. Cái từ đâu?
Over a period
of
60 years.
Good. Over a period of 60 years. A period, by the way, for those of you who are not sure, is an amount of time. Okay? It means an amount of time. A period.
Hiểu ý
a
định nói
period
không?
means.
Yeah. Ok, một khoảng thời gian nữa chưa? Xong of này, 60, xong rồi years là phải có số nhiều rồi chưa? Ok. Chú ý vào nhá, nếu không thì mình viết những câu đấy của mình sẽ vô giá trị, không có điểm hoặc là người ta sẽ gạch của mình đi vì cái lỗi sai của mình nó rất là cơ bản á. Ok, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Harp. Knock two.
Yes.
Okay, knock two. Your turn, please. This graph shows.
This graph shows
The number of people in millions who were
injured by traffic
who were injured in traffic accidents in Vietnam. Over. Can you finish the sentence for me? Over a period. Over a period of how many years?
20 years.
No, how many years between 1960 and 2020? Knock two.
I forgot.
Okay, just look at the graph and do some arithmetic. How many years between 1960 and 2020? From 1960 to 2020 is how many years?
For how to sell that was.
Okay, it's 60 years.
60
years, okay? 1960 to 2020 is a period of 60 years. Okay, thank you, Nok Tu. Fong Lin, you are not feeling well, don't worry. Okay, Duk Nia, have I done this with you?
No, you didn't.
Okay, Duk Nia, please try.
This graph shows how many people were injured by traffic accidents in Vietnam over a period of 60 years.
Okay, that is perfect, Duk Nia, well done. Okay, perfect. That's exactly what this graph shows. For those of you who are not sure about it, I was going to get you to write it down, but I won't. I will write it down for you to save a little bit of time. Oops. Whoops, can't spell. Okay, one last time, everyone. This graph shows how many people in millions were injured in traffic accidents in Vietnam over a period of 60 years. If you are not sure about this, please write this down. I know some of you aren't sure, because this is how you describe, and these are the sort of words you need to know to describe what is happening in any sort of graph or chart or diagram. This graph shows how many people in millions were injured in traffic accidents in Vietnam over a period of 60 years. And again, because I think maybe some of you aren't sure, okay, how do we know it is in millions? Because this, the x-axis tells us, okay, this is the millions of people, these are years on the y-axis. This graph shows how many people from the x-axis were injured in traffic accidents in Vietnam over a period of 60 years. the years between 1960 and 2020. All right, so that is how you describe the graph. Are there any questions about that? And if, again, you don't know what that graph did, please write down my words, because this is a form that you can use to describe many different charts and graphs and diagrams. All you have to do is change some of the words, but other words will remain the same. Okay. Try me. Hello, try me. I'll wait for her to come back.
Maybe because she says that today is she doesn't have like a Wi-Fi at her home.
Yes.
Yes. So
okay.
Maybe she now she is using the 4G for having internet.
Okay.
Yes.
She was there before though. She seemed okay before.
But because of the internet, the network.
Okay.
Again, yes, she joined again like that.
Okay.
But
right.
anyway, you can call others.
I can call others. Thank you, Mrs. Ha. Okay, Tinduk.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, Tinduk, let's make sure we understand now what is actually happening in the graph. Okay, this is the sort of thing that you would write about in the last 2 paragraphs if you were writing an essay. Remember, I said at the start, Tinduk, you would write the first part of the essay, you would write a paraphrase of the title of the graph, and that is what we've just talked about. Okay, that's what we've just talked about when I said this graph shows how many people in millions, okay, were injured in traffic accidents in Vietnam over a period of 60 years. Now we need to make sure we understand exactly what the graph is showing. In the year 1960, Tinduk, how many people were injured in traffic accidents?
In 1960 there were 2.5 million people who were injured in traffic accident in Vietnam.
Okay, very good, Tinduk. That's good. In 1960, there were about 2.5 million people who were injured in traffic accidents. That's very good, Tinduk. Thank you. Jalin. Hi, Jalin. Can you hear me?
I'm here.
Okay, Jalin. In the year 1980, how many people?
In the year 1980, there are 4.5 million people
who were
injured in traffic accident in Vietnam.
Okay, very good. So the only thing you said wrong was we are talking past tense when we look at graphs like this, Jalin.
Yeah.
Okay, so you need to say were, not are.
Yes.
Okay, so in 1980, there were 4.5 million people injured in traffic accidents in Vietnam. Okay, thank you, Jalin. Bao Lin.
Yes.
Okay, Bao Lin, in the year 2000, what happened? In the year 2000, what happened?
In 2000, there were about 2 million people who were injured in traffic accident in Vietnam.
Okay, good. Okay, in 2000, there were about, okay, because as you can see, everyone looking at the graph, it's not quite on 2 million. It's a little bit below. So you say there were about 2 million people who were injured in traffic accidents in Vietnam. Okay, and the last one, Anji.
In the year 2020, there were approximately 2.7 million people injured in traffic accidents.
Correct. Very good. Perfect English, Anji. That's great. Okay. Viet An.
Yes.
Okay, Viet An. Here's something a little bit tricky. In the year 1970, what happened?
In the year 1970, a million of people in 3.5 what injured traffic accident.
Okay, close. In the year 1970, there were 3.5 million people. There were 3.5 million people who were injured in traffic accidents in Vietnam. Okay, knock two.
Yes.
All right, knock two, last one of these. What happened, knock two, in the year 2010?
2010. Oh, I see. In 2010,
there were
2.5 million people were injured in traffic accident in Vietnam.
Good. Okay, there were, and again, I would use the word about, knock two. There were about or approximately 2.5 million people, because you can see, looking at this, 1980, sorry, my mouse has stopped working. Yeah, that's better. Okay, in the year, sorry, I'm just getting rid of a window that's come up on my display here that you probably can't see. Go away. Okay, that's better. Okay, in the year 2010, okay, you can see it was around here, not quite 2.5 million. So you would say about or approximately 2.5 million people who were injured in traffic accidents in Vietnam. Okay, let's look at this another way to make sure you understand. Duk Nia.
Yes.
What was the worst year for traffic accidents in Vietnam?
The worst year, I think 2020. There were around 5 million people who had traffic accidents in Vietnam.
Not in 2020.
Where?
Okay.
Oh shit.
In what year, okay, I'll put it another way. In what year were there the most accidents in Vietnam?
Oh my God. 1980, I think. There were.
Okay. Yes, 1980, when?
There was a lot of traffic accidents were happened in Vietnam.
Okay, how many is what you have to say? How many?
Around 4.5 millions.
Okay, good. So what you would say is the worst year for, if I said, what is the worst year for traffic accidents in Vietnam? You would say in 1980, there were about 4.5 million people injured in traffic accidents in Vietnam. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. In 1980, there were about 4.5 million people injured in traffic accidents in Vietnam. Tra Mi.
Yes.
Okay, Tra Mi. What was the best year, if I can put it that way, for traffic accidents in Vietnam?
1980.
That was the worst year. Okay, so I'm saying worst year is when the most people were injured.
Yes. Can you hear
Okay.
me?
I can hear you fine. Okay, so what was the best year or the year when the least number of people were injured?
I think it's 2000, the year 2000.
Okay, good. All right, and how many people were injured?
It's about 1.9 million people.
Okay, good. 1.9 million people. And remember, everyone, millions doesn't need an S on the end. Okay, it's one of those words like we were looking at in the test earlier. All right, to make millions a pupil, sorry, to make millions a plural, you don't need to have an S on the end in this sentence. So you just say about 1.9 million people. 1.9 million people. All right, thank you, Trami. Tinduk.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What period saw the biggest decrease in traffic accidents in Vietnam? The biggest decrease. Can you remember what decrease means?
No, I don't know.
Okay, decrease means
okay, yeah.
Yeah, decrease means to go down. Go down.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, decrease means go down. Okay, so over what period? What period was the biggest decrease?
Là cái năm mà nó giảm
Remember,
xuống
period is an amount of time.
Period là một khoảng thời gian trong một khoảng thời gian nào đó, đúng không? Còn giảm.
Yeah, it's from 1980 to 2000.
Correct. Okay. So how many years is that?
20 years.
Correct. Okay. So if you were writing this in an essay, you might say, over the 20 years between 1980 and 2000 was the biggest decrease in traffic accidents in Vietnam. All right. Does that make sense, Tinduk?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So these are the sort, I'm giving you examples of the sort of thing you would write about in an essay like that. Jalin.
Yeah.
Hello, Jalin. Where are you?
I'm good.
Okay. No, you say, I'm here. When I say, where are you? You say, I'm here.
I'm here. Sorry, I'm here.
I'm here. Okay, Jalin. What period of time saw the biggest increase in traffic accidents in Vietnam?
Increase?
Yes. What period of time?
From 2000. From 1916 to 1918.
From 1960 to 1980. Okay. And in that period, Jalin, how many people were injured in traffic accidents?
Wait.
Okay. Or in that period, the number of people injured in traffic accidents increased by how many? Between 1960 and 1980, the number of people injured in traffic accidents in Vietnam increased by how many?
Con có hiểu câu hỏi của thầy không đã? Con hiểu câu hỏi của thầy không?
Con đang cộng vào.
Ok.
Is 13.4 billion.
13.4. I won't ask you how you got that, but it is not correct. All right. So we're looking at this period here. Okay, Xiaolin?
Yeah.
This period here, from 1960 to 1980, okay, how many more people were injured, okay, in 1980 than in 1960?
It's 1.9.
1.9 is close. I'll say yes. I would say about 2 million.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, because you can see that it's gone from about 2.5
Yes.
to 4.5.
Yes.
Okay, which is about 2 million.
Yes.
All right. So in the 20-year period between 1960 and 1980, there were about 2 million more people injured in traffic accidents in Vietnam. Okay, thank you, Xiaolin. Baolin.
Yes.
All right, Baolin. In the period between 2000 and 2020, okay, how many more people were injured in traffic accidents in the period between 2000 and 2020?
It's I think it's increased
About
I forgot 500,000.
about 500,000. That's good. Okay, so you're looking at about 2 million here, aren't you? And about not quite five, about 2.8, I would say that is. Okay, so 2 million and 2.8. All right, so it's about 800,000. So it's about 800,000. The increase is about 800,000. All right, so again, I'm just checking everyone that you know, A, how to read the graph, and B, can tell me in English. Okay, Baolin. Anji.
Yes.
Okay, Anji, you can see that, okay, between 1980, Anji, okay, and 2000, there was a drop in the number of people who were injured in traffic accidents. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Which of these adjectives, Anji, that you can see here, would you use to describe the drop?
I think I will use dramatically and.
Okay, so you would call it a dramatic drop.
Yes.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, that's fine. A dramatic drop. You could also have used something like halved, by the way, halved, okay? The number of people, 4.5 to 2, was getting close to halved, all right? But dramatically is fine. So in English, you would say between 1980 and 2000, there was a, what's the next word?
There was a half of.
Okay, go back to the first adjective you used.
It was dramatically dropped from.
Close, different form of the word I'm looking for. Not dramatically. There was a, yes, yes. Okay, can you give me the whole sentence, please, Anji? Between 1980 and 2000.
Between 1980 and 2000, there were a dramatic drop of millions of people.
Okay, there was a dramatic drop in the number of people injured in traffic accidents. That's good, Anji. Okay, that's good. Okay, it was a little bit tricky just to test you. Okay, so everyone, between 1980 and 2000, there was a dramatic drop. Okay, remember, dramatic means something that happened very quickly or suddenly or sharply. There was a dramatic drop in the number of traffic accidents in Vietnam. Viet An. Việt An.
Việt Anh ơi. Where is Việt Anh? Okay. Việt Anh bật mic lên. Bật mic nhanh lên con.
Con bị hỏng cái chỗ bật mic ra nó bị.
Okay, nào thôi nhanh. Quick, please.
Okay, Việt An, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, so what happened to the number of people injured in traffic accidents between 2000 and 2020? What happened?
There were increase.
Good. It increased. Okay, it increased. Now, did it increase? And using one of these words here, did it increase dramatically, which means it increased very quickly? Did it increase gradually, or did it increase steadily?
I think it increased dramatically.
I think actually it's more steadily. Okay, dramatically would be a very steep rise, a very sudden rise. Okay, that's what dramatically means. Whereas something that is steady is not so dramatic. Okay, it shows a more gradual increase. All right, if the line went like this just to here, say about to 2.7, it would be a slow increase. All right, if the line went from here up to say 4.5 million, that would be a dramatic increase, but it's somewhere in between. So the word is steady. You would use the word steady, Viet An. All right, I think that's enough of that for the moment. So what we have covered in this lesson is how to read a graph, okay? And we read a graph by looking first of all at the x-axis, all right? Knock two.
Yes.
Knock two, what does the x-axis on this graph show us? What is it showing us? Or what is it measuring? What does the x-axis measure?
Measure from people, million people.
Yeah, millions of people, correct. The x-axis measures millions of people. Phung Lin. I can see you, Phung Lin. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, good. Okay, Phung Lin, what does the y-axis in this graph show?
The years.
It shows, okay, the number of years. The number of years is how you say it, okay? The y-axis shows the number of years from 1960 to 2020, which is how many years, Phung Lin?
60 years.
Correct, Phung Lin. It is 60 years, the period 1960 to 2020. Okay, this graph shows us, all right, how many millions of people over a period of 60 years were injured in traffic accidents in Vietnam. Duc Nia.
Yes.
What was the worst year for traffic injuries in Vietnam?
The worst year for traffic injuries in Vietnam is 1980 with.
Correct. That's fine. Try me.
Yeah.
Try me. Still not there. Doesn't matter. Tin Duc.
Yeah. Okay.
Tin Duc.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. All right. So we've just heard the worst year for traffic accidents in Vietnam was 1980. How many people were injured in traffic accidents in Vietnam in 1980?
There were 4.5.
Đi thử ấy, con đánh răng đi.
Yeah.
1 giờ
4.5 what? 4.5 what?
There were about 4.5
Yeah, million people. 4.5 million people.
Thử đi xem đi, nếu chạy nhanh mà. Con đi 49 à? 49 thì nó ngay ở chỗ nhà mình. Thì sang bên đường bên kia con ạ. Con sang bên chỗ thành công ấy.
Con ở đây mà cô.
Thế lỗi không gọi được.
Okay. Jalin.
I'm here.
Okay, Jalin. What was the year when the least number of people were injured in traffic accidents?
Is 2000.
2000. Very good. And about how many people were injured in traffic accidents in 2000?
Is 1.9 million people.
Okay, about 1.9 million. About 1.9 million. Bao Lin.
Bảo Linh ơi.
Yes, can you hear me?
Okay, I can hear you, Bao Lin. So we've just heard that about 1.9 million people were injured in traffic accidents in 2000. Okay?
Yes.
Okay, what is another word beginning with A that you can use instead of about? What is a synonym? Somebody has already said, someone's already said this word earlier.
Assumptively. I don't remember. I don't
You don't remember.
how to
Okay.
pronounce the word.
That's okay. I will show it to you. Just last thing we will do on the whiteboard. Okay. Instead of saying about, you can use this word. Okay. Can you say that, please, Bao Lin?
Yes, approximately.
Approximately. Approximately. Can you say it again? Approximately. Sorry, Bao Lin, can you say it again?
Yes, approximately.
Approximately. Good. Approximately. And approximately is a synonym for what, Bao Lin?
About.
Synonym for about.
About. Correct. Okay. Anji.
Just.
Okay. How do you pronounce this word, Anji?
Approximately.
Correct. Viet An.
Yes.
How do you pronounce
Đánh
this
vần đi,
word?
đánh vần lại cái từ ấy đi.
APP.
Đâu, không đánh vần, bà đánh vần. À, con, sorry, con, tức là con phát âm lại. Bác xin lỗi.
Approximately.
Okay.
Good. Approximately. And approximately is a synonym for what word?
Thế con hiểu ý của thầy hỏi gì không?
Đúng nghĩa.
Đúng rồi. Đúng rồi. Đồng nghĩa từ gì?
I don't know.
Khoảng ấy, about đấy. Bảo Linh vừa nói không, con không chú ý nghe thôi.
All right. Knock two. Can you tell me? Knock two.
About.
Yes. About. Approximately and about are synonyms. Okay. Okay. And they are the opposite of exactly. When you are not sure of a number, you say approximately or about. Okay, everyone. If you've turned your camera off, can you please turn it on? This is the end of the lesson for today. Who can't I see? Viet An. All right, everyone, before we go, are there any questions? Are there any questions?
Có bạn nào cần hỏi gì nữa không?
Okay, all right. Thank you everyone for paying attention for today. Again, next week, we will continue with this. All right. We're going to look at a different graph because I'm sure you're getting a little bit tired of this one. We're going to be looking at a similar graph and we will practice more writing. So what we've done this time, okay, is just talk about how to read a graph. Next week, we will write about how to read a graph. Okay, thank you, everyone. Phong Lin, I hope you feel better soon. Okay, I hope your cold gets better. And the rest of you, I hope you enjoy the rest of your Sunday. I hope you've got something delicious to eat for lunch. Please look after yourselves and I will see you again next week. Bye, everybody. Bye.
Okay, goodbye, teacher. Goodbye, everyone.
Teacher.
Goodbye, teacher.